It was dark, and there were no lights. What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Datas in Control podcast. My name is Brian Chauvet, and I'm the founder of Datas in Control. So, today I wanted to tell you a story that actually happened to me last night. So, last night about 9:30, 10 o'clock, my wife asked me to run over to the store to get a few essentials as she was traveling this morning. So, off I went. I hopped in the car and headed out. And it wasn't very long on my journey when a little black car pulled out in front of me. Now, this little black car didn't have any lights on. It had very dim headlights on, and it had no marker lights on at all. So it was exceptionally difficult to see. Couple that with the fact that this wonderful person that was driving was going way under the speed limit. Now, I wasn't really in a rush, and it was dark out, so I was content to follow. I knew the car was there, so I just kind of waited it out. I wasn't going far. So as we got moving further and further, there came to be a car behind me. Actually, it was a truck. And this truck was exceptionally impatient, flashing the lights, beeping the horn, trying to zig around me. And I kind of moved over to the right a little bit as to expose this car in front of me. But the guy behind me couldn't see this car. It was black. The surroundings were black. There was absolutely no markers on this car. So it kind of was a waste of my time and energy. As we got up to a four-way stop in the driveway of the store that I was pulling into, the car in front of me pulled off at the same time. So as soon as that happened, the wonderful truck that was following me decided it would be a great idea to lay on the horn, roll his window down, start screaming, and flip me the bird. Now, the poor lady behind me didn't know it wasn't me. So she was in the parking lot, she pulled into her spot, I pulled in next to her, and I walked into the store like nothing happened. Well, I noticed she stayed in her car. And I'm thinking, maybe she didn't know that wasn't me. So I went about my business in the store, and I came out, and I noticed she was still in her car. So I walked up to my car, I put the stuff in the passenger seat, and proceeded to walk towards her vehicle with a smile on my face, and I gently tapped on her window. She very cautiously rolled down her window only a crack. I smiled and I said, I just wanted to let you know that it wasn't me that made all that commotion behind you while you were driving. That was the car behind me. I said, I wanted to also let you know that you didn't have any marker lights on the back of your car. Pretty dangerous situation, which is why I was following her. She thanked me kindly, and we both went our separate ways. Now, I'm not telling you this story as a story of road rage. I'm actually telling you this story because as we stay in the dark, we get used to the dark. It's funny when you talk to someone and you're thinking, oh wow, they're in a really bad place. How did they get there? Well, it's like when it's nighttime and you stay outside for so long that your eyes adjust. This poor lady, her eyes probably adjusted and she didn't even realize that her lights weren't properly on. Now, imagine this as a metaphor for your life. If things are getting bad and things have been in a bad spot, maybe in your marriage, maybe financially, maybe physically, whatever, and you're in the dark, but your eyes have got used to the dark, so you don't need the light to see. Your eyes kind of adjust, right? Have you had that experience? Well, let's just say there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, except if your eyes get used to the darkness. So, think about this in your life, guys. Have you just become complacent in your marriage? Have you been just jaded by how miserable you are? Have you become so disconnected with yourself that you just don't know what to do? Or maybe you've just given up. You've given up all hope. You choose to numb and hide and not confront these issues, whether it's financial, whether it's in your marriage, like I mentioned before. The problem is, what you resist will persist and get larger, to coin my wife's phrase. And it's the truth. the problems that you're avoiding become large problems. They become gigantic. And the bigger they are, the harder they are to tackle. The more fearful we are to have the conversations. So I implore you guys, take a look at your life today. What are you avoiding? Where are you in the dark? And you've got so used to being in the dark that you feel like you could see your way. You feel like you know where you're going. You feel like you have the right direction. Sometimes you just wander around in the dark and you don't even know. And you're unaware of it because you're so disconnected with your current situation. When we're in this mindset, when we're in this space, joy becomes forbidden. It's almost as though we lose our capacity to become vulnerable, so that joy becomes forbidden. It becomes scary to feel joy and happiness. Now, being vulnerable just means having the ability to have the conversations, to confront the problems, to deal with the shit that you need to deal with. And I'm not always talking about in a public place. Sometimes it can be with your wife, sometimes it could be with your kids, your boss, whatever. Maybe your bank, maybe your personal trainer, maybe even yourself. Sometimes you have to look at yourself in the mirror and just talk it out, to vocalize things, or in your journal. But you have to expose these truths. You have to get this stuff out of you, because what happens is we become numb and we lose the ability to feel these feelings. Whether it's joy, whether it's happiness, whether it's excitement, we lose this feeling. It becomes too scary to feel them. So, your homework, after you're done listening to this, spend 5 minutes writing some facts down about yourself, where you're at presently, where you are at. Whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whatever it is. Start a tab on yourself. Figure out exactly where you're at and figure out where you want to go, who you want to be, how you want to change. And then figure out what it's going to take to get there. You won't be sorry. That's it. That's my message for today. If this is a conversation that you enjoyed, if it's something that you want to continue, if you want to learn more about taking back control of your life, head on over to our Facebook group and join a group of men that are like-minded, that want to learn, that are willing to ask for advice, that are willing to provide advice, judgment-free. Get there by going to Facebook and searching Dad is in Control, or head on over to dadisincontrol.com and click the button to join the free Facebook group. Also, and most importantly, if you haven't already done this, please head on over to iTunes or the podcasting app, smash the subscribe button, and please rate and review this podcast. It goes a long way for delivering our message to other people that would benefit from hearing it. And that's it. That's the message for today. So until next time, have a great day, and we'll see you on the inside of the group.